Hello, friends. Happy Monday. Welcome to today's strength class. Here is our waiver. As you all may know, we have the Cupid Scramble going on, so hopefully you all are participating. This will end on August 30th. Hopefully, some of you have been eligible for the weekly prizes and have uncovered the word of the week. So that is after every class, we will share with you the letter of the day, and you can go ahead and scramble that. I presented the sleep webinar, so hopefully you are all able to get some value if you joined that webinar. If you have any questions on that, please send me a message or I can send you the recording. And then lastly, hopefully you all were able to participate again in the cooking demo. That was last Wednesday. Hopefully these webinars will help inspire you to, cook really colorful and just give you some awesome value in regards to different ingredients that you are able to utilize and some inspiration for cooking some awesome meals, okay? Again, in the chat, I let you know the equipment that you need today, which is a pair of light to moderate dumbbells, and I also sent a link for a Cute Fit survey. If you could please so kind if you fill that out, that'd be really awesome. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And then I will go ahead and spotlight myself. All right, friends, just start getting a little warmer, okay? We got 20 minutes. All right, cool. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and just start doing some arm swings, please. We'll go forward and backward. Sorry, just forward, please. We have some pressing that we'll be doing today, along with some bending. And then we're also going to work on the back of our shoulders and then our glutes and a little bit of midline slash core. And then we'll do some arm circles forward. While you're doing that, you could also kind of just move your neck a little bit. I know some of you in the East Coast are 3 hours ahead of California. So hopefully you're able to kind of get some movement in throughout the day. We'll do some arm swings laterally. And then we'll just do some lateral flexion of the neck. Again, some of you are ahead of us in time, so you've had a little bit more of the day, a little bit more hours of the day. Again, just easy, nice lateral flexion. You could even go up and down a little bit. Don't go super fast. Also, if you want to do some circumduction. All right, let your vision settle a little bit. If you participate in that, have your feet directly underneath your hips. Have your hands across your shoulders. Go ahead and have a nice slight bend your knees and push your glutes back, and then go and stand all the way up. We'll do anywhere between 6 to 10 reps. Getting some warmth to our low back. And then we're going to go ahead and do some lateral lunges. So again, feet directly underneath your hips again. Take a nice big lunge to your lateral side. Have your fingertips touch their inner heel. And then we'll repeat on the other side. Again, make this nice and dynamic. So it's more of a flow as opposed to a stretch. Right, this next one, we're going to go ahead and grab our knee. We'll get up on our opposite toe, grab our knee up on our opposite toe, and then repeat. Get some hip extension. And then lastly, we'll go on the ground and we'll relieve some stress from our low back. So have your knees together. Go ahead and move your hips side to side. Go ahead and cradle your knees if you want. Just let your back relax. Hopefully you hear a couple cracks. All right, that felt pretty good. All right, so we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different movements, everyone. Again, full body, doing some curling and pressing. We got some lunging, some bent over rear delts for your shoulders, some glute bridges, and then some sit-ups. Okay, so let's go ahead. Today's rep ranges will be anywhere between 10 to 15. So feel free to do as many as 15. Feel free to do as little as 10. The first exercise will be a curl and press. So I will have you have your feet directly underneath your hips. You will take the dumbbells, have your palms facing your sides. You will curl, and then you'll go ahead and press to your shoulders or overhead. Okay, so how it's going to look like is have your wrist facing you. You will then curl your thumb away from you, and then you'll curl your pinky away from you as well. Okay, so again, anywhere between 10 to 15 reps. Pretty simple. Again, getting some bicep contraction here while also adding in an Arnold press. Trying to get full extension. Trying not to utilize our body to get the dumbbells up to our shoulders. Again, really focusing here on one, isolating our shoulders, but also getting a nice good curl and a nice contraction of our bicep. Anywhere between 10 to 15. And then once you finish, you can just let your arms relax. So you're holding the dumbbells for a pretty good amount of time. Again, you should be here, getting your nice good bicep contraction. And then once you're here, go and start twisting and then pressing overhead anywhere between 10 to 15 repetitions. All right, so once you finish that, friends, we have a lunge. This can be a body weight lunge. This can be a dumbbell loaded lunge. Totally up to you. Again, we're trying to get as much range of motion here as we can. So you'll have your dumbbells here to your sides. Have a nice good base, feet directly underneath your hips. You will then lunge. The knee will touch the floor. Try to have a nice good vertical shin. And then you'll push away from that front foot. And then you'll repeat on the next foot. So we're alternating here. Again, trying to do, working on our body awareness, proprioception. Also making sure that we're bracing and squeezing our midline. So when you're ready, go ahead and grab your dumbbells and start 10 on your right, 10 on your left for a total of 20 reps. Or you could just go body weight if you want to. Again, you can have your hands here by your side. If you have trouble getting full range of motion or just kind of really uncomfortable for you, you can totally switch the lunge to a reverse lunge if that's a little bit more comfortable for you, if that feels a little bit more comfortable for you. Or again, if you have range of motion issues, you can just go for as long or you can go for as deep as you can. Again, just trying to get adequate range of motion and just training and focusing on the pattern of the lunge. The lunge is important, obviously, for a lot of different reasons, especially as you get older. We want to, preserve bone density, but also know how to get up just in case we fall from the floor or fall to the ground and there's nobody around us, and we know how to get up from the ground. Okay. So again, 10 on your right, 10 on your left. This can be either loaded or body weight, or if you need to do a reverse lunge, you can do a reverse lunge. If not, just go to where your range of motion feels a little bit comfortable. And if you need assistance, there's also different ways to do it. You can grab a PVC pipe or anything else that's kind of sturdy. All right, so we got the curl and press, we got the lunge. Now we have a bent over Y with a rear delt. So how it's going to work is you're going to have, again, your feet directly underneath your hips. You're going to be in the bent position. You're going to have your thumbs pointing up towards the sky. And then you're going to have the dumbbells go right above your shoulders, creating a nice Y. This is for your rear delts. Again, anywhere between 10 to 15, you should feel a pretty good burn here on the very back of your shoulders / shoulders. I did a lot of shoulders today, so you should feel a pretty good amount of burn already. And also make sure that you're contracting and bracing and squeezing your midline. So you are indirectly training your abs. All right, so once you finish that exercise, everyone, we have a glute bridge, and then we have just your traditional butterfly sit-ups, okay? So you can do this either body weights or you can do it with a dumbbell. Totally up to you. Find yourself on the floor or a mat. Again, have your heels towards your glutes. Have your hands by your sides if you're doing body weights, or if you have your dumbbell, you can put it on your hips. We're going to go ahead and raise our hips and squeeze our glutes to get some glutes and leg activation. And I'm sure all of you have done this exercise before. A lot of value in it. Again, anywhere between 10 to 15 reps. That is your glute bridge. Once you finish, we're going to do some sit-ups. I'll show you a couple of different variations. We have the butterfly version, so just have your heels or your bottoms of your foot somewhat connected. Take your hands, place them behind your head, and then go ahead and grab your toes. This is a little easier version. If you want to go ahead and extend your legs to make it a little bit more difficult because your midline might be stronger, we'll do the same thing now, except we have a little bit more range of motion, and we're targeting our abs just a little bit more based on our levers and our feet position. So again, anywhere between 10 to 15 is fine. Again, also you can focus on the eccentric portion of the sit-up. So the lowering part where you really have to focus on squeezing your midline. You do that too. Good job. That's one interval. I'm going to grab a little sip of water. Anywhere between 10 to 15 again. Then we should have time for one more. All right, so we got a curl, we got a pressing movement in, we got a lunging / bending movement. We got a little isometric, targeting our shoulders, some slight shoulder flexion. And then we got a bending with the glute, and then a little bit more midline / bending on the upper body for our sit-ups. So whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and start the curl and press again. If you want to make this more of a hammer curl, you can totally do that too. So as opposed to twisting or rotating, you can just work on your forearm if you want. So basically have your dumbbells here in this position. And if you want to go ahead and press in the neutral position, you can, or you can twist, totally up to you. Two different variations. Again, they all have value depending on what your goals are and what you're looking to accomplish. It's all kind of the same thing. The most important part is that you're, participating in a fitness program that you like, that you enjoy, that's sustainable for you. And also exercising at a time that is best for you. If you're waking up every day, you're forcing yourself to exercise, you're probably not going to participate in exercise and movement for a very long time. So again, try to find a time that works best for you to where you feel the most energized, the most, mentally acute. And sometimes that might be in the middle of the day. Sometimes it could be towards the end of the day. I'm not sure. You know yourself better than myself. So again, try to find a time that works best for you, not to worry a time that you're forcing yourself to exercise. Once you finish that movement, we are going to go back into a lunge. Body weights or dumbbells, that's fine. I'll do the reverse variation. So again, try to have your knee touch the ground every rep. A little bit easier than forward lunge. Forward lunge adds a little bit more of a kind of body awareness / stability aspect to it, as opposed to the reverse lunge. Just because it's a little bit more quad dominant. Again, 10 on your right, 10 on your left. Again, if you have trouble, just shorten up the range of motion. Don't go to the ground all the way if you have trouble getting up from the lunge or from the split squat position. Again, 10 on your right, 10 on your left. If you want to do a little bit more, you totally can. All right, the next one, we have the bent over rear delt Y. So this one is important just because don't have a big base because it might throw off your balance. So have your feet a little bit directly underneath your hips, or sorry, your center of gravity might throw off your center of gravity. Feet directly underneath your hips. You know, just make sure your shoulders aren't rounded, that you're just in a nice neutral position, facing forward, and bringing the dumbbells up towards your earlobes. Again, you're looking straight ahead. Your neck is in a nice neutral position. Your shoulders are packed. Again, try not to look up. In your peripheral vision, you should be able to see the dumbbells across your eyesight. And you're always looking straight ahead or slightly in front of you, especially if you're doing the deadlift, straight ahead or slightly in front of you. Did a lot of shoulders this morning. All right, last two exercises, we're going to go into a glute bridge. Again, you can do this loaded or unloaded. Find your mat on the ground or the ground. If you want to target a little bit more of your hamstrings or also do like more of a hybrid glute bridge, you totally can. Again, the closer your heels are to your glutes, the more glute dominant this exercise becomes. The farther away your glutes or your heels are, the more hamstring dominant. So if you want to do more of a hybrid, somewhere in the middle, to where you're targeting both your hamstrings and your glutes, you can totally do that as well. And if you even want to point your toes up to the sky, you'll notice a different contraction and the angle, the different feeling as opposed to having your feet on the floor. All right, 10 to 15. All right, last exercise, everyone. We got 10 to 15 sit-ups. Up to you, whatever variation. Again, if you have trouble, maybe getting range of motion or getting all the way up, you could really focus on throwing your hands forward, or you don't even have to go all the way down. You can stay somewhere in this vicinity right here. But just again, really focus on throwing your hands forward as fast as you can. If you have trouble getting from the bottom position to the seated position, but if your abs are strong, you could also just kind of slow the descent or the eccentric portion to really get a good contraction and really target your midline. You could also kind of manipulate your hands going forward and not throw them as fast. Again, if you really want to target more of your abs. You have so many different ways to do one exercise. Just pick a variation that works for you based on your goals and based on what you're looking to accomplish. All right, friends, good job today. Here is our our letter of the day before you leave. We have an N. N as in Nancy. N as in Nancy. N as in Nancy. Thanks so much for coming today. If you will be participating on Wednesday, this will be my last Wednesday before our coaches switch. But I will see you next Monday for sure. Sorry, Monday's a holiday. I'll see you the Monday after for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thanks, Dorian.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dorian.